Greetings, this is Dr. Von Mad, and today we're going to do something a little different. Now, most of the time you see me, I'm building launchers, catapults, ballistas, all sorts of projects. Today you're going to see something, nay, be treated by something 10 years in the making. Let me present Dinner with the Mads. And our dish today comes to us from Central Europe. Sauerkraut and sausages, slow cooked over the crock pot. And you will need, first off, this beautiful bottle, this vintage American red wheat ale, courtesy of Tux Brewery, thanks to Mr. Shasby. We're going to open this up here. Now, I don't drink, but I'm going to taste this for the sake of understanding the flavor notes that we're dealing with and to give you a taste of an idea of what we're doing. So we're going to open this momentarily. Bear with me. Well, we're back. We're going to open this now and see if I can figure this thing out. Ooh, pops just like champagne. Now, first thing we have to do is give this a bit of a sniff. Kind of a nice bready smell. Very nice. And as promised, I'm going to have a teaspoon of this just to see what the flavor is like before we put it in. See this here. Very tangy. Very sharp. As I believe the man himself said, it had a kick like a wrecking ball. So, into the crock pot it goes. It's got a most interesting aftertaste. Like I said, very much like eating a nice slice of rye bread. But cold and fizzy. Most interesting. Our next ingredient, the sausage. Now for this, I've got several links in here, but we're going to probably use all three of them, so I'm going to dice those up. I will open this up and I will be back with you in a moment. And here's our sausage. Now, if you're expecting me to do something like, I don't know, dice it up finely or something, no, you're in the wrong place. What we are going to do, however, is to cut this into about 3 or 4 inch cuts. Like that, see? Now, this goes in turn into the pot, because as everyone in Eastern and Central Europe knows, the best friend that beer ever had was sausage. Now, cut these up. Oh man, this sausage smells so good. Nice and smoky, nice and meaty. And when it mixes with this beer, it's going to be incredible. Now, our next ingredient coming up, the onion. Now for this, you're going to need, let me get this out of this bag, it's still in the bag from the grocery. 1 big yellow onion. Now, like I said, I don't cut anything, I don't do anything dainty. I'm just going to see if I can get this peeled. And peeling an onion is always a real pain in the rear, but we're going to do it here. And I'm sure there's an easier way to do it, and somebody's going to tell me that in the comments page. But it is what it is. There we go. May not be pretty, but it's going to be effective. Still hear that beer fizzing. he did a really good job. If you can't get somebody who has their own private brewery, like my friend at Tux, well, that's most unfortunate for you. I suppose if you have to, you could lower yourself and slum a little bit and buy a store-bought brand, but if you have somebody that has a private brewery, beg them. Beg them. Now, onions are next. Let me see if I can get this where you can see what I'm doing here. Lower my camera a little bit so you can see this onions being sliced up. I said I don't do anything dainty, I don't do anything light, so big pieces of onion go in, because that's how I roll. See? Now, in they go. Let's dice some more onion up. Then we'll get to the next two ingredients. All this extra onion, this needs to go in all this little oniony goodness needs to go in the pot. See? Now, the next part, this right here. This is a yellow onion. You could use a red onion, you could use a white or Spanish onion, whatever floats your boat. I personally happen to like this. The white onion, sometimes the red. No, don't knock over this very nice beer bottle. Now, grab the rest of these and join the party. Check the camera, make sure it's doing its thing. And if you like what I'm doing here, definitely hit the subscribe button, hit the comments page. Would love to hear from you. But like I said, it's not pretty, but this is cooking what I call mad science style. This is Frankenstein cooking right here. Next is one nice big Crips Pink apple, product of USA. Hoorah! I have a friend of mine who was in the Marines, so thank you for your service, Mike, and for all these veterans that put themselves out there so that I can be here right now, being free and cooking this delicious recipe and doing all this, because out in the field they don't get things like this, and they should. There's the core. Like I said, I don't bother to peel apples because it's just not what I do. So just dice it up fine. This is going to add a little sweetness to it. By the way, if you're asking why the beer cuts the sharpness from the sauerkraut. Now, I'm going to show you exactly what kind of sauerkraut we're using here in a minute. There's the core. And it goes. There goes the stem. Dice this. The stem goes over here with the rest in the trash bin. There's these little pips. They need to go over here too. Now, we've got this section right here that needs to come off. It's a little bit woody and it's probably not good eats. But we have a little meat here that is, so there we go. And in it goes. Now, okay, checking the camera. Now, okay, I got a little bit of a pip still on that one. Oh, where did he go? Oh, he came off. I don't see him now. Okay, good. Now, into the pot. Now our last ingredient is, you saw this in, whoa, hello. You saw this in Myra Mad's grocery haul. This is imported from Poland. Only the best to go with this one-of-a-kind beer. And that would be authentic organic sauerkraut. So let's pop this dude open and see what we got. My hands are a little wet. Alright, little life hack here. It's time for a little life hack. This is sealed really good. Most of the stuff coming from Europe is. What you want to do, now let's try it and see what happens. Well, they got this sealed on good, or I'm just not as strong as I used to be. May have to do it again. Now, that looks like a butterfly. Now, bang it again. Now, oh, this is awkward. This thing is sealed good. Hang on just a minute, I'll be back. Alright, we're back. I decided I'd go and get me a lever. And in this case, this little jar opener, and this did the job. Like I said, sometimes these things are really sealed good, especially when they're coming from the other side of the world. Now, this is Polish kraut. It's organic. Got a nice smell to it, kind of a very vegetable smell. Definitely can smell the cabbage in it. It's going in the pot with the rest of it. Hang on. I'm going to have to use my fingers. This stuff is packed in tightly. Now. Alright. Hang on. Let me put this where you can see me doing this. There you go. This is packed in very, very tightly. Of course, it has to be. When you're making sauerkraut, if you don't have it packed in tightly, your cabbage is going to spoil. Alrighty. There you are. The cabbage goes on top. The lid goes on the cabbage. The temperature goes to high, and we're going to be back overnight with the finished product, which will be only a flash to you guys. It'll be all night for us. So, thanks to Tom Shasby and Tux Brewery, and this is Dr. Von Mad for Dinner with the Mads, signing off. See you then. Well, now, this is Dr. Von Mad for Dinner with the Mads, and after some delay, we're back. This has been cooking since 12:30 midnight, or a little after midnight last night, and it's about 11:30 this morning, thereabouts. So, it's been cooking all night, as you can see. Bring the light up. We're not quite ready for the taste test yet. I want to show you the nature of this. The red wheat pale ale from Tux Brewery has turned the sauerkraut dark, and also has cooked the sausages down dark now. You can also see we have a dinner guest and Kid Mad who wants to try this. Don't worry, guys, the alcohol and the beer cooked off hours ago. Now we've got a nice bit of robust rye bread and my beverage in my skull cup. So, let's give this a try. Let's first try some sauerkraut. Let's see, it's nice. It's gotten dark from the ale.
See?
What do you think?
That's like any old sauerkraut.
Well, it's not as sharp, is it?
Mhm.
Let's get into the sausage. Oh man, that sausage is tender.
Yeah.
Let's cut some of this sausage down and just try some of this. Look at that. Look how tender that is. And hopefully you can see it. Hang on. That's good. apologize for eating in front of. She says it's a little warm from the crock pot. But we'll see if I can get some sauerkraut on here and see how this tastes. I'm having a little issue trying to get it on there. I got a piece of meat on the fork. Let me tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab some sauerkraut. And hopefully Kid Mad's manners will improve. No, I don't teach them to eat with their fingers. They just kind of pick that up on their own. So I got a little sauerkraut on here. Okay, that works out really well. One last test. On sauerkraut over here on this bread. A little piece of meat on this bread. One of my favorite ways of preparing this. Let me try this out. Let me spin this around so you can see me. I got my glasses up so I can see better.
This is good.
The rye bread really sets it off. Yeah. It looks like Kid Mad's already eating my lunch. At least Bolchie's being good. Stop that. Now, you want to try some of the rye bread? I don't know, to each his own. But yeah, the beer cooked off hours ago in the crock pot and left a nice kind of a heady sort of flavor to it. If you get a chance to try this recipe, you can also do this with bratwurst and German kraut. Try different types of apples, maybe even pears, I don't know. But definitely try this. This is delicious. So, for Dr. Von Mad and Kid Mad. Alright. Signing out. If you like what you see, and this is our first ever dinner with Dr. Mad. This has been 10 years in the making. Again, special thanks to Tom Shasby and Tux Brewery for the American Red Wheat Pale Ale. This is absolutely delicious. You all need to try this. And this is Dr. Von Mad signing out.